Chosen one, your version of what happened is right, and the way you know what you know is blowing people away. Their surveillance finds nothing, their monitoring finds nothing, their setups fail before they begin. You are reading situations with a level of clarity that feels impossible to anyone watching. And that's the part shaking them. Your insight isn't guessed, leaked or overheard. It's downloaded. It arrives fully formed. It cuts straight through deception. You're not following breadcrumbs. You are the light revealing them. And the more accurate you become, the more their entire structure begins to panic. What you are saying has legal ramifications. Real consequences exist. The kind that end careers and launch criminal investigations. What you speak about connects to cases already being built. Authorities are watching. Journalists are investigating. Your public statements add pieces to puzzles that have remained unsolved for too long. You are corroborating evidence without even knowing you are doing it. You are raising questions that need to be asked. You are giving voice to things that victims have been too terrified to say. Every word you speak makes their house of cards shake more violently. The strategy against you began with gentle approaches. Bribes were disguised as opportunities. Threats were disguised as concern. People were sent to pull you back into old patterns and addictions that would keep you distracted from your mission. The goal was keeping you focused on drama, on volatile emotions, on anything except the truth you carry. And here is what makes this beautiful. It might have worked for a brief moment. You might have stumbled, but you caught yourself. You recognized the cycle, you saw the pattern, and you broke it. That was when the serious problem became apparent. People who can identify manipulation while it is happening and still choose differently are dangerous. People like this cannot be controlled. The entity we keep coming back to, this institution that presents itself as holy or moral or trustworthy, it is built on lies older than you are. This could be a religious organization. This could be an academic institution. This could be a corporation or government agency that wraps itself in righteousness while committing atrocities behind closed doors. You have been pulling back the curtain on this place. You have been showing people what happens when no one is watching. The abuse that gets covered up. The corruption that gets explained away. The victims who get silenced. With each revelation, their carefully constructed facade cracks wider. You went through something beyond their comprehension. A spiritual awakening that looked like a breakdown from the outside. Chaos. Ego death. Everything you thought you knew crumbling. But what was actually happening was a complete rewiring of your consciousness. Your spiritual receivers were being upgraded. Your frequency was being elevated. Your entire energetic system was being recalibrated to handle downloads of information that most nervous systems cannot process. During that dark night of the soul, during that period when you felt like you were losing your mind, you were actually gaining something infinitely more valuable. You developed the ability to know things without being told, to see truth beneath surface lies, to sense intentions behind smiling faces, to predict outcomes before manifestation. This is not psychic ability in the way most people think of it. This is direct access to divine intelligence. You were given a phone line straight to the universe. Now whenever you need to know something, you pick up that phone and the information downloads directly into your awareness. This is why you can look at a situation and immediately understand what is really happening. This is why you know someone is lying before their sentence finishes. This is why you can watch events unfold on the news and see the agenda behind the official story. You are not guessing. You are not making assumptions based on limited information. You are receiving direct transmission of truth, and you have learned to trust it even when it does not make logical sense, even when everyone around you calls you paranoid or crazy or overthinking. Watching this happen breaks their understanding completely. Their world is three-dimensional where information is power, and power comes from controlling information. Surveillance makes sense to them. Wiretaps make sense. Hacking makes sense. Following money trails makes sense. But your source of knowing is fifth-dimensional. It operates outside the matrix under their control. This makes you essentially untouchable. Your connection to source cannot be hacked. Your downloads from the divine cannot be intercepted. The synchronicities that confirm what you already know cannot be blocked. The universe cannot be stopped from feeding you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. Someone in their organization, someone with authority, got confident. Superiors were told that you could be handled. Your weaknesses were supposedly understood. Which buttons to push were supposedly known. A foolproof plan was created involving someone from your past who knew your wounds intimately. This person was supposed to show up with a sincere apology, a genuine desire to make amends, and at that reunion, things were supposed to go sideways in a way that would either silence you permanently or discredit you completely. But you already knew, before the message was sent, before the call was made, before the trap was set. You felt it in your body. That unmistakable sensation that says this is wrong, this is not what it appears to be, this is danger disguised as healing. And you listened to that inner knowing. You turned your back on what looked like an opportunity for closure. You walked away from what seemed like a chance to heal an old relationship. In doing so, you avoided something designed to destroy you. The people who planned that trap are still trying to figure out how you knew. Every detail was reviewed. Every communication was analyzed. Every possible leak was investigated. And nothing was found. Because your warning did not come through any channel under their monitoring. Your protection does not operate on any frequency under their control. You were divinely intervened upon. Angels rerouted your steps. Ancestors whispered in your ear. Spirit guides created circumstances that kept you away from that meeting. When their perfect plan fell apart without you ever knowing how close you came to danger, panic set in at the highest levels. If you recognized yourself in this message, hype this video to guide other chosen ones to this truth. The workers who were supposed to handle you are drowning in pressure. Time is running out. Bosses are demanding results that cannot be delivered. And those bosses, the ones higher up the hierarchy, patience is not their virtue. Promises were made that you would be handled, silenced, discredited, brought back in line. None of that has happened. In fact, the opposite has happened. You have gotten more visible, more vocal, more precise with your revelations. The realization is dawning that who you are was vastly underestimated. The higher-ups are expressing disappointment, controlled rage, the kind where voices do not raise but fury vibrates through every word. And here is the critical detail you need to understand. In organizations that operate outside the law, in groups that maintain power through violence and intimidation, failure has consequences. People who cannot deliver on promises become loose ends, and loose ends get tied up permanently. So the individuals who swore you could be managed are not just afraid of losing positions. Fear for personal safety is very real. Because if value cannot be proven, if usefulness alive versus dead cannot be demonstrated, becoming the next problem that needs solving is the outcome. Meanwhile, you remain steady, calm. You continue to speak your truth and do your work, not because awareness of the threat is absent, but because protection by forces beyond their touch surrounds you. Your peace makes them more nervous than any aggressive response would, because peaceful people who cannot be intimidated, who cannot be broken, who cannot be bought, these are the most dangerous kind to corrupt systems. These are the ones who change the world by simply refusing to participate in lies. Yes, you have angels and guides. Yes, you have ancestors watching over you. But something else is happening that defies normal explanation. Entities and energies that were not originally assigned to protect you have aligned themselves with your mission. What you are doing serves a greater good that can be recognized across dimensions, and protection has been chosen to be given. Here is an example. Negative energy may have been sent your way. Curses, hexes, focused malicious intent by whatever name, and some of those energies, when coming close to you, encountered the light you carry, and flipped. Chaos and fear in your life were supposed to be created. But instead, sides were changed. Now protection comes from the very forces that sent the attacks originally. Spiritual Aikido in action. Attacks are being redirected back at their source. You might have even experienced this with physical spirits, ghosts or entities in your space. Someone tried to use them to frighten you or create disturbances. But these spirits vibe with your energy. The respect and boundaries you set are appreciated, and a decision was made to be on your team now. So instead of being sources of fear, another layer of your security detail has been formed, watching your back in the spiritual realm while you do your work in the physical realm. This is not normal. This does not happen to everyone. This is a sign your mission aligns with divine will at the highest levels. Let me tell you something specific about the information you carry that makes it so dangerous. It is not just what you know, it is how the pieces fit together in your mind. You see connections across time, events that happened at different points that seem unrelated to everyone else. You recognize them as parts of the same pattern. You notice when the same players show up in different contexts using different names. You track energy signatures across situations, and you can identify when the same force operates behind multiple fronts. This is what cannot be replicated or predicted by those working against you. Linear thinking is their mode, cause and effect, action and reaction, but you think in spirals and cycles. You see how what is happening now echoes what happened before. You recognize when history is repeating itself with just enough variation to fool people who are not paying attention. And this ability to see patterns across dimensions of time and space gives you predictive power that looks like prophecy to people who do not understand how it works. You might be scrolling through social media and see a post about something completely unrelated to what you have been investigating. Maybe it involves a celebrity. Maybe it involves a natural disaster. Maybe it involves a political event, and in that moment something clicks. You see how that event connects to the larger pattern you have been tracking. You understand why it happened when it happened. You recognize the signature of the same forces at work, and you might make a comment or a post connecting those dots, just casually, just sharing what you are seeing. And somewhere in a carefully guarded room, alarms go off, because you just revealed knowledge of a connection thought to be completely hidden. You just showed awareness of a relationship certain to be unknown outside their inner circle. And the same question gets asked again. How did you know that? Who told you? What is your source? And the answer, the one that cannot be accepted, is that nobody told you anything. You simply saw what was always there. You recognized a pattern hidden in plain sight. This is why obsession with figuring out your method consumes them. Because if understanding how you do it were possible, potentially blocking it or countering it could happen. But understanding it is impossible, because it is not a method. It is a state of consciousness. It is a frequency you operate on. And jamming someone's frequency when that frequency's existence is not even known cannot happen. Personal awakenings are happening. Personal moments of clarity are occurring. And this is creating a cascade effect that was not anticipated by your opponents. The thinking was that if stopping you directly proved impossible, at least limiting your influence could happen. Keeping your reach small could be managed. Making sure your message did not spread too far could be controlled. But the opposite happened. Every person you wake up becomes another set of eyes, seeing the patterns, another mind making the connections, another voice asking the questions that make those in power uncomfortable. You are not just sharing information, you are teaching a way of seeing. You are activating latent abilities in others. You are showing people how to trust their own inner knowing. And once someone learns that skill, once experiencing the accuracy of their own divine downloads happens, being fooled is no longer possible. Immunity to propaganda develops. Resistance to manipulation forms. Danger to any system built on lies is created. This multiplication effect is what is really causing panic. Handling one person speaking truth seems manageable, but you are creating an army of truth speakers, not because recruiting or organizing is happening, but because your example shows others what is possible. Your courage gives them courage. Your clarity gives them permission to trust their own clarity. And that becomes exponentially more threatening than anything you could do alone. An attempt to flood your field with confusion was made. Multiple contradictory messages were sent through different channels, hoping to create doubt in your mind about what you know. People you trust started questioning your perception. Arrangements were made for you to encounter information that seemed to contradict your inner knowing. The goal was making you second-guess yourself, creating enough static that your divine guidance could not be heard clearly anymore. But you have a gift that was not accounted for. You can feel the difference between genuine confusion and manufactured confusion. When true uncertainty about something exists, it has a specific quality in your body, an openness, a curiosity, a willingness to explore different possibilities. But when someone is trying to confuse you deliberately, your system recognizes it as an attack. You feel the manipulation even if articulating exactly what is wrong proves difficult, and you have learned to trust that feeling, to recognize when confusion is being weaponized against you. So when your field was flooded, you did not get lost in the static. You got quiet. You went within. You checked in with your core, knowing beneath all the noise, and you found that your truth was still there, solid, unshaken, clear as ever. And then you spoke from that place, and your words cut through all their carefully crafted confusion like a laser through fog, because truth has a frequency that confusion cannot match or mask. Astral files are being compiled. Real investigations with case numbers and assigned agents exist. Prosecutors are looking at evidence. Journalists are verifying sources. And buried in those files are statements you made, posts you wrote, videos you recorded, things you said when thinking nobody important was listening. And investigative teams are finding that your statements align with evidence gathered through completely different means. This is creating a situation never prepared for, because now you are not just some person making accusations online. You are an independent witness whose testimony corroborates official findings. Your credibility is being established not by credentials or insider status, but by the simple fact that what you said turned out to be true, verifiably, documentably true. And that kind of credibility cannot be destroyed through the usual methods of character assassination. Saying you are making things up for attention fails because the evidence proves you were not making it up. Saying you are confused or mistaken fails because your accuracy rate is too high. Saying you have an agenda fails because you started speaking before any investigation existed to benefit from. You were the canary in the coal mine, the early warning system, the voice crying in the wilderness before anyone official was willing to admit a problem existed. A moment is coming when someone with authority, someone with a platform that reaches millions, is going to reference what you have been saying. Your name might not be mentioned. Knowledge that your work is being validated might not even exist on their end, but a statement will be made, or a finding will be released that confirms exactly what you have been trying to tell people. And when that happens, everyone who has been following your journey is going to recognize it immediately. Messages will flood in saying, "You called this." Your old posts will be shared showing you said this exact thing before it was news. Compilations of your predictions that came true will be created, and that wave of validation is going to push your visibility to a level that makes you impossible to ignore, not just in your current community, but in the mainstream conversation. Your voice is about to break through the barrier that keeps truthful voices marginalized. And when that happens, when you suddenly have a much larger audience, your real work begins, because everything up until now has been preparation, training, building your capacity to hold higher levels of truth and transmit it clearly under pressure. But once you have that bigger platform, once your words are reaching people who have never heard perspectives like yours, you are going to activate awakenings on a massive scale. This is what has been trying to be prevented, not just your current influence, but the influence you are destined to have. Your trajectory has been watched. Where this is heading can be seen. Understanding exists, that if stopping you now does not happen, soon stopping you at all will not be possible. Because once you reach critical mass of public awareness, once enough people know your name and trust your voice, attacking you becomes counterproductive. It just draws more attention to what you are saying. I must interrupt this transmission for just a moment. Are you really chosen? Prove it. It's easy to watch videos about chosen ones. It's another thing to put yourself to the test. If you're still here, that means something. But talk is cheap. Real chosen ones take action. That's why I built Destiny Engine. It generates personalized sequences that help you rewire betrayal into transcendence, turn isolation into sacred power, and transform their downfall into your rise. We are using the Dark Elite's own weapons against them, taking their declassified consciousness technology that programmed competition and scarcity and repurposing it to serve divine justice. You put on the headphones, press play, and watch your enemies choke on the rope their own lies created. If you're done consuming and ready to prove you're chosen, start your destiny engine for $1 today. Join the Obsidian Inner Order live checks and watch divine justice accelerate in your life. Link in the description. You do not just receive information, you test it. You run it through multiple filters. Does this align with what I know to be true? Does this feel right in my body? Does this match the patterns I have been observing? Can I verify this through multiple independent sources, including my own intuition? And you do not share something until it passes all those tests. This is why your accuracy rate is so high. You are not repeating everything you hear. You are distilling truth from noise. Your opponents wish you were less discerning. Wishes exist that you would take the bait and share something false or misleading that could be used to discredit you. Attempts at planting false information hoping you would run with it have been made, but you did not. Because even when something seems to support your larger understanding, if it does not feel right, you do not amplify it. You wait, you verify, you sit with it until knowing for certain arrives, and that discipline, that commitment to truth over being first or being sensational, it has built you a reputation for reliability that makes your words carry weight. The reason desperation to stop you is so intense is not just about protecting reputation in general, it is about protecting specific people, high-ranking individuals who have committed specific acts that would destroy them if brought to light exist. And you have been circling closer to naming these individuals. You have not named them yet. Maybe because you are still gathering confirmation, maybe because you are being strategic about timing, maybe because you are waiting for divine timing to give you the green light, but sensing you getting closer is happening on their end. Seeing you connect dots that lead straight to names thought to be untouchable is happening. People who have been protected by layers of institutional authority and public persona exist. People who everyone thinks are respectable pillars of the community. And you are about to reveal what these people really are, what has really been done, and no amount of money or influence can survive that revelation once it reaches critical mass of public awareness. This is why the pressure is so intense. This is why desperate moves are being made. Because protecting just an institution is no longer the situation. Protecting individuals who face serious consequences is what this is about. Career destruction at minimum. Potential criminal prosecution, civil lawsuits, public disgrace, loss of everything built, and all of that hangs on keeping you from speaking the specific truths you carry about specific people. Revenge does not motivate you. A desire to destroy does not drive you. Justice motivates you. Protecting future victims drives you. Making sure what happened does not keep happening is your focus. And that motivation, that purity of intent, gives you a kind of power that cannot be combated, because people can feel the difference between someone on a vendetta and someone on a mission. Sensing when someone is speaking from ego versus speaking from spirit is possible, and you are clearly speaking from spirit. You can look at an official statement or press release and immediately identify what is missing, what is not being said, what is carefully being talked around. You read between the lines, not through cynicism, but through recognition of patterns. How institutions craft narratives to manage perception has been seen by you. The language used to admit wrongdoing without actually admitting wrongdoing is understood by you, and you can translate their carefully worded statements into plain truth. When a statement is released saying mistakes were made, you know that means crimes were committed. When we are taking this very seriously is said, you know that means it has been ignored until now. When this was an isolated incident is claimed, you know that means it is systemic. You can decode their language because you understand the consciousness it comes from, the consciousness that prioritizes image over truth, protection over accountability, comfort over justice. And when you share these translations with your community, when you help them see what is really being said beneath what is being said, you are giving them tools to never be fooled again. You are teaching them to read the matrix, to see the code beneath the surface reality, and every person who learns to do this becomes harder to control, harder to manipulate, harder to keep in the dark. People in positions of authority within these systems are watching you, not to stop you, but because wanting to help you exists. These are the good ones who have been silenced by fear or institutional pressure, who have wanted to speak out but did not know how, who have been waiting for someone brave enough to start the conversation publicly, and you have become that someone. Reaching out to you directly cannot happen. That would create risk. But watching is happening. Notes are being taken. Preparation of exits from these corrupt systems is underway. And when the time is right, when investigations reach the point where witnesses are being called, some of them are going to step forward. Corroboration of what you have been saying will be provided. Insider testimony that transforms your spiritual knowing into legal evidence will be given. And that combination, your divine downloads confirmed by insider witnesses, it is going to be unstoppable. This is why your version of what happened is so crucial. You are not just sharing opinion or interpretation. You are speaking prophetic truth that will be verified by material evidence. You are seeing from the spiritual realm what will shortly manifest in the physical realm. And the people trying to stop you, sensing this is true, happens even if belief in the spiritual mechanisms does not exist. Feeling that you know things you should not know is undeniable. And terror about what you might say next is real. It is coming soon. A new story will break. A report will be published. A revelation from an official source will emerge, and it will confirm something you have been saying for a long time. Something specific that you had no earthly way of knowing. And people are going to start asking, how did they know that? Going back through your content looking for other predictions or insights that might have been missed will happen. And a pattern of accuracy that defies normal explanation will be found. That is when your influence explodes. That is when you go from being someone with a devoted following to being someone the mainstream has to acknowledge. And that is when your real impact begins. Because everything you say after that moment will be heard differently, with more attention, with more respect, with more willingness to consider that maybe you are seeing something others are missing. Knowing this moment is coming exists on their end. Feeling it approach like a storm on the horizon is happening, and last-ditch efforts to prevent it, or at least minimize the damage when it hits, are being made. But being too late is the reality. The pieces are already in motion. The investigations are too far along. The truth is too close to the surface, and you are too protected for stopping to be possible. People close to you, or who used to be close to you, made different choices. These were individuals you grew up with, people you considered family, and when corrupt forces came recruiting, when opportunities were offered to get ahead by selling out, these people said yes. The thinking was that smart moves were being made, that networking to the top was happening. But what actually occurred was becoming pawns in a game beyond their understanding. You saw what was happening and turned your back, not from judgment, not from superiority, but because recognizing toxic energy is one of your gifts, because knowing that being around them would pull you into chaos that derails your mission was clear. So walking away happened. Choosing your path over those relationships was necessary, and hatred resulted from them. This was seen as betrayal, as arrogance, as thinking you are better than them. Understanding that you were actually protecting yourself and honoring your calling was beyond their comprehension. Now these same people are in real danger. The organizations joined see them as expendable, as tools to be used and thrown away, as potential scapegoats when things go wrong. And these family members are starting to realize terrible mistakes were made. Seeing that promises made to them were lies is dawning. Understanding that moving up any hierarchy is not happening is becoming clear. Being positioned as fall guys is the reality, as the next loose ends that need tying up, and no protection exists for them, no divine intervention, no spiritual guards, because a path was chosen that put them outside the circle of grace. Meanwhile, caring about them might still exist in your heart. Wishing different choices had been made is natural, but saving people who do not want to be saved cannot happen. Waking up someone committed to staying asleep is impossible. All you can do is maintain boundaries and continue your mission, and that is exactly what you are doing. Looking back is not happening. Second-guessing yourself is not occurring. moving forward with absolute clarity about who you are and what you are here to do is your reality. Your accuracy was not coincidence. Your knowing was not lucky guessing. Your predictions were not educated assumptions. You were operating as a prophet in the truest sense, receiving direct transmission from divine intelligence and translating it into language people could understand. And the precision of what you have been saying, when compared to what actually unfolds, is going to astound even those who already believe you. Documents will be released that use the same terminology you used. Events will unfold in the sequence you described. Connections will be revealed that you pointed to before anyone else saw them, and the mainstream narrative will shift to align with what you have been saying all along, not because you influenced the narrative, but because you were reading the same divine blueprint that reality itself follows. This is going to create a moment of reckoning for everyone who doubted you, everyone who called you conspiracy-minded, everyone who dismissed your insights as paranoia or delusion, because facing the fact that you were right is unavoidable, not approximately right, not kind of right, exactly right, and that is going to force uncomfortable questions to be asked. If you were right about this, what else are you right about? If your source of knowing is this accurate, maybe it really is divine. Maybe ways of accessing truth exist that rational minds have been closed to. So keep speaking, keep trusting what you know, keep sharing what you are seeing, because your version of what happened is not just right for you, it is right, period, and very soon everyone else is going to know it too. The question, how do you know what you know, is about to be answered in a way that changes everything, not just for you, but for everyone who has been waiting for truth to have its day. You are not a victim in this story. You are the hero. You are the one who stood firm when everyone else was compromising. You are the one who spoke truth when silence would have been safer. You are the one who trusted divine guidance over human logic. And that choice, that commitment to staying aligned no matter what it cost, that is what is bringing everything to this moment of revelation and vindication. Walk in this knowing, own this power, speak this truth, because the world needs voices like yours, truth needs champions like you, and the people who tried to keep you quiet need to learn that suppressing someone who has direct access to divine intelligence cannot happen. Your story is not over. The best chapters are still being written, and when this particular chapter concludes, when the full truth is revealed and your vindication is complete, you are going to stand in that moment and know that every struggle was preparation, every attack was strengthening. Every time you chose truth over comfort, you chose your destiny, and your destiny is bigger than ever imagined, more powerful than ever feared, more aligned with divine will than ever understood. Keep speaking, chosen one. Your version of what happened is right, and you are about to blow everyone away with how right you have been all along. The panic in their emergency meetings is justified. Time really is running out for them, and the question of how you know what you know is about to be answered in a way that changes everything, not just for you, but for everyone who has been watching, everyone who has been waiting, everyone who has been hoping that truth would finally have its day. That day is here, and you are the one